Amy, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, George. I've been a regular viewer of your show for many years. I just wanted to say,
thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, with regards to Nigeria, we need to be quite careful about it, because yeah, indeed, there were some discrepancies in the last election, but it's not enough to say who won or who did not win. I would just like to say, opposition to the current president has led to a lot of spike of violence against his ethnic group, the Yoruba people.
And you just have, very succinctly indeed, you have taught me something. I had absolutely no idea that Tinubu was from the Yoruba people. That's the only good thing about him. And my contempt for him has zero to do with the fact that he's a Muslim, and zero to do with the fact that he comes from the Yoruba people. These two things are the only two good things about him. I'm against him because he's a crook. I'm against him because he's a thief. I'm against him because he's a bagman for the bigger thieves. In Chicago, Illinois, I'm against him because he forged his election papers. I'm against him because INEC forged his victory in the election. Am I supposed to turn a blind eye to all these things?
Nobody say make you not get big teeth, but ensure say you get big lips to cover. Now it happens so. Anna, that's the point. Now we can be the object and subject of mockery around the world. Media houses use us, they shine because of one singular thing we will not do. We allowed INEC to superimpose a personality whose brand and reputation, whose integrity and character is being questioned what over. And you are doing embellishment, say they go G20 meeting, they go this. Bye when the foundation is destroyed. Which country in this world wants to do business with us? Except saying now countries where see mago food their hand. I'm expecting there are countries that I want to see bilateral conversations, trades, business, investment, then I'll believe. Credibility is a big deal. Oh. That's how these white journalists, where sit down in own, they entertain opinions from around the world. Now one tribal bigot and religious fanatic go carry waka go meet up for his station. For your show, you think say this one Rufai one of the child suppress. This is one of Nigeria where we say una go dey suppress media. NBC and BON they threaten media houses, they find them before election for doing the right thing. He say he want now he finish and give am go brutality, fatality, pack. He finish am. Now you find trouble. Now you go. You think, and most of us that some of these guys are abroad. Now they are abroad. Now they see how systems they work. Now they see the scrutiny where they go on for the lives of the people that want to go on in public places. But when I reach on our close on our eyes, because when I feel drink any poison, as long as in on a tribal cup, on a ethnic cup, on a religious glass, they serve and one can drink anything. See Anna, you go draw Tinubu leg command. They don't give out go. Me. That's the problem. You don't go stay in your house. Impose you say, I want to ask you. I am not a hater of the Yoruba tribe. Which crisis has Yorubas been victim of since the inception of this political journey? Who? Not be MC Oluomo, they threaten other tribes for Lagos. Police say na joke, they joke. Who has suffered? Which person? Which tribe? Oppress and intimidate Yorubas for waiting. Yeah, who they fight with, who they lose. And this is not a tribal video, I'm just saying, I'm just stating, because that guy, you hear the video and you hear the full video. Mona share this video. Since una so no get sense, INEC, APC no get sense, would they expose anything where relate to the exposure of una bomb we go expose them. We keep telling the world of how you impose a man that wasn't voted for into power. And they say wait. You see, this is everybody go dey. This is one Rufai where you go dey careful because his life, his job, everything. Now go dey warn everybody. They soup. That's the problem. You see, you cannot do that anymore. Defend yourself now. Now, be there. Tell this one. You think these guys will not have the independent sources to verify information before they say sue you to court? Say you call them any way you call them. Share this video, make it go viral as usual. And I know how they do it. We'll share them. But we'll keep exposing them. They impose next president, we go to expose them. We expose them. I don't blame on our court. We no talk. We not share the video. Good night.
Amy, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, George. I've been a regular viewer of your show for many years. I just wanted to say,
thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, with regards to Nigeria, we need to be quite careful about it, because indeed there were some discrepancies in the last election, but it's not enough to say who won or who did not win. I would just like to say, opposition to the current president has led to a lot of spike of violence against his ethnic group, the Yoruba people. And this is where we need to be careful as to how people frame the problems they have with the president. Because at the moment, if care is not taken, the way a lot of independent journalists, so to say, are framing these things up, it might lead to another brutal ethnic clash. And as you know, my country experienced a civil war in 1967 between the then breakaway Biafra region and the rest of the country. I'm afraid we might be heading in that direction again. So I would like you to please take a step back and actually review the dynamics to the last election. Because we can't say for sure that Peter Obi won that election. A lot of, we do vote on the basis of religion and ethnicity, but most Nigerians are Muslims, and we voted for Bola Tinubu. Whatever problems people have with him is fair, but he's the person most of us voted for. And I think the more people are going after him on a personal level, as against going for INEC, which is the body responsible for elections, civilians from my ethnic group are being targeted. And I just called because I've seen a lot of conversations surrounding him, and I want you to be aware of the risk he poses on the ground. Thank you.
Well, look, there's no question of me taking a step back. I'm merely hosting a show in which all kinds of people are invited. Every 5 minutes, I invite everyone to call the show to give their point of view. And you just have, very succinctly indeed, you have taught me something. I had absolutely no idea that Tinubu was from the Yoruba people. That's the only good thing about him. And my contempt for him has zero to do with the fact that he's a Muslim, and zero to do with the fact that he comes from the Yoruba people. These two things are the only two good things about him. I'm against him because he's a crook. I'm against him because he's a thief. I'm against him because he's a bagman for the bigger thieves. In Chicago, Illinois, I'm against him because he forged his election papers. I'm against him because INEC forged his victory in the election. Am I supposed to turn a blind eye to all these things because he's a Muslim, because he's a Yoruba, because this may lead to ill feeling to his people? When I express my contempt for Rishi Sunak, I'm not hating on Indian Hindus. I'm hating on Rishi Sunak for everything except the fact that he's an Indian Hindu. I parked that. I have no interest in that. I'm against Sunak for a whole range of other reasons. I'm against Tinubu for a whole range of other issues. Now, I invite all points of view to enter this debate over Nigeria. If we had a Moats Africa, we could do it exclusively every week on that show tailor-made for the African audience. But we don't have that, so we can't talk about Nigeria every single week, every single show. But we had David on in advance of the court decision. We've now had him on after the court decision, which I followed closely, and which was every bit as farcical as David Hundian described it. What are we supposed to do? Not do so? Accept that the greatest African country is run by a crook? A forger? No, I will never accept that. I have too much respect for all the peoples of Nigeria.